Monday Night Live, how are we going? Welcome Guy from GemQ, how are you?
Oh, not too bad, Ben. G'day everyone.
It's an absolute honour to have you up here, Guy. It's like I've got some YouTube royalty in the place. Oh. So between you and Warren, sorry guys, I had a speaker on there. That's not like me at all. So who are you? Like, so...
Who am I?
Yeah, so YouTube, dark side, just give me a bit of an overview.
Multifaceted.
You are multifaceted, that's for sure.
So, where am I? It all probably started, 35 years ago, following the old man around places like Wanyara and Tarnagalla with a Red Baron.
Oh, Red Baron.
Metal detector. Didn't find much.
No.
And he also had a White's 5000D Coin Master. So pulling a few odd silver coins out of a few Melbourne parks.
Yep.
So yeah, did that for a while and loved following the old man around, especially around near Tarnagalla and that.
Yep.
And then basically, it was great. You know, used to catch up with all the people there, and people would say, "Here, young fella, here's a little ice cream container full of gold nuggets for you to play with that in the corner," sort of thing. And things have obviously changed a fair bit now, but yeah, it was so I did that for a while. We also did a lot of shooting.
Yep.
And and then probably 10, 15 years later, the old man sort of, like most Victorians, retired to the Gold Coast.
Yep.
as always. So what happened was that he brought down a Minelab Musketeer and said, "Have a play with this." And
a Minelab Musketeer. Jeez,
yes.
I haven't heard that machine in a while.
Yeah.
So you've got your YouTube channel.
Yep.
And like, just tell me. I've got to say hello to a stack of people here, but just tell me a little bit. What's dark side? Tell me a little bit about dark side.
Okay.
Everyone's fascinated by the dark side.
Yeah. So probably I think it's about. We tried to work it out whether it was about 6 or 7 years ago at the Wedderburn Token Hunt. So on the Saturday night they have a band on. I think usually it was the Yabbies. They've done about 4 years in a row, and they play a little bit of rockabilly and sort of soul and all that kind of stuff. So all really cool sort of things. So we were up doing a dance from Robert Palmer, Simply Irresistible.
Yeah.
And
is there a video floating around of that?
Never. Never. And John Gladys said, "Oh, there's a dark side over there," and it just stuck. And then from that, I think the next year we decided to wear 2 shirts, and then we have hats and things like that.
The hat doesn't work terribly well on the green screen, but we can see it there, sort of. So, yeah. So
and beards
and the beards. Yeah. So what is it? Like, it's just a group of mates. You don't do much on Facebook, do you?
No. So we've got a tight little Facebook where we just
it's just you guys.
Yeah, we just have a bit of a laugh and share some finds. We catch up occasionally, but like everyone's got jobs, everyone's got families. We all don't live within the same suburb and so forth.
Yeah, cool.
So we just sort of catch up, and we're sort of over the years the dark side's sort of grown into a number of different things, and you would have also probably seen our camp, which when you go up to Wedderburn next weekend, you'll see our camp will stick out like the proverbial.
Yes.
So.
Right, so we've got to say hello to a stack of people here. Mike's here, James, Donnie's here. G'day, Donnie, Brett, Lisa, lots and lots of people here. Leonie, stacks of people here. Trevor's here, Chris is here. So stacks and stacks of people here. So hello, everyone. I think I saw Nadia there somewhere. So what's happening tonight? We're going to have a big chat to Guy. We've got some finds here. We've got some reminder stuff about what's happening in the future. Tonight's giveaway is NX5 little digger. I don't know whether it fits on the screen. Guy's a bit concerned for his
It's
safety.
very, very sharp.
Yeah, it is a bit sharp. So, great little digger, made in the States, a quality bit of gear. So share to win this one. Yeah, we'll give that away. We'll randomly choose that out at the end of the night. So we've got that happening. Have you got a little something there to give away too?
We might show that a little bit later.
Later? Okay, no problems at all. So, I do want to just touch on the fires down in Victoria. Since you're a Victorian, you live in Melbourne, but obviously there's a lot of bush burning at the moment. So lots of stuff burning up in the Gippsland there. So my thoughts go out to everyone out there battling fires and firefighters and police and everyone battling to save houses and what have you. So
yeah, and I even had a look tonight. I think there's a few more lightning strikes, so a few more dry storms up in the eastern ranges there. But yeah, that main fire
right above Guy's head there.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I always feel like I'm doing the
Yeah.
Saturday Night Fever. Yeah, that one's only 70 k's from Melbourne, just to give you an idea of just how close it is. So. Again, you would have probably seen on the news there's been a fair amount about backburning and the lack of it, and that attributing to the intensity of these fires and people losing property, which is obviously not great. It's obviously feeding into some of the work that we're doing with sort of VAC and getting us access to places as well.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, our thoughts are, we won't spend a lot of time on it, but our thoughts are with all those people that are having a struggle at the moment with that down in Victoria and in the Gippsland there, and it's funny. I had a look today. There's 35 fires in New South Wales at the moment. There's like 12 fires in Queensland. Like there's fires all over the place, sort of thing. So most of the ones in New South Wales and Queensland are all contained, but the ones in Victoria are the issue, sort of thing. So
yeah, they're getting later and later in the season, aren't they? So.
Yeah, they are. Normally, it was what was the big fire in Victoria? I should remember.
Ash Wednesday.
Ash Wednesday. Well, that was a month ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, about Feb 8 or something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
And Black Saturday's about 13th or 14th, I think.
Yeah. It cooks and dries all summer, and and it's ready to rock and roll. So, right. So we covered what got you started in detecting. So, what was your first machine? What was the first machine you put your hand in your pocket for?
My hands in my pocket. Well, my father gave me the Monlad Musketeer, and I thought this is a very good machine. Because, I think the first coin I found was an 1863 halfpenny, which is not
a decent
not a bad start. So he said, "Oh, I'm back in Queensland now. You can keep it for a little while longer." And just sort of progress from there. You know, you find little goldies and all that kind of stuff in the parks and things like that. And a lot of them I've just sort of paid for myself. I haven't really sort of overindulged too much. I've just got a family and other things that I need to sort of look after as well. So, and then first gold machine was a Goldbug 2.
Goldbug 2?
Yes, found my first little nugget at Irish Town.
How long ago was that?
Probably 5 years ago or something like that. Just at the back of Irish Town, which is near Friarstown, for people in Victoria, just south of sort of Chewton and Castlemaine. Castlemaine, sorry. Friends in the west.
So what do you use mostly now? Like because you're detecting, you do a bit of gold and a bit of relics as well, do you, or is it mostly gold now?
I'm trying to get into mostly gold.
As
you can imagine, there's not a hell of a lot around. It is tough. So I usually use a 45 on the gold. A few of my mates have got STCs and 7000 and all that kind of stuff. So I'll use those on occasion. I was lucky enough to find a piece of gold with a CTX a few years ago as well. And what just a lot of people run different coils. What coils do you run on the 45? It depends on where I am. So if I'm in shallow ground,
Yep.
I try to, and the bush, it's access to the bush. So
Yep.
if you can swing a bigger coil, swing a bigger coil. But a lot of the places I try to get off the beaten track a little
Yep.
bit, into some new areas, and
Yep.
hopefully get onto some nice little runs.
Yep.
And yeah, a lot of that's in sort of pretty rough sort of bush. So I usually just use a sort of a 9-inch or smaller sort of coil,
Yep.
and usually if you find something, especially in the shallow soil, and you know that there's deeper soil down below, then you might follow up, and next time you go out, you might take
Yeah.
a 14-inch and 18-inch or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So-
yeah. And we covered this a couple of weeks ago, actually. And so this is a bit of an aside.
Yep.
But so when you're looking for sort of, if you like, new ground, virgin ground, where what indicators do you look for to say, well, actually, I'm going to have a crack here. I know there hasn't been a lot of history here, but what is it that makes you stop and look at a bit of ground?
So the hardest, to me, the hardest bit about this this hobby is actually finding gold-bearing ground and then trying to duplicate that. So, and one of the things I've been lucky. So a lot of the guys that I go out to, I consider really, really good mentors as well.
Yep.
And they don't, when I find something, they don't sit and jump up and down and say congratulations and,
Yep.
do a cartwheel and all this kind of stuff. They say, well, why is it there? Why is that type of gold there? Where did that come from? And,
Yep.
when I go out, I also use handheld Garmin's,
Yep.
Garmin Rhino. So I have all of the maps and all that kind of stuff. So I try to actually run sort of almost in a virtual world when I'm running,
Yep.
when I'm out detecting, but also looking for those indicators and look at the geology. So when I go back home, I have a look at that geology, and I'm thinking, well, there's typical geology, 2 hills over and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I'm going to need to
Yep.
try that.
Yep. Yeah.
Other typical indicators of where you've got the typical diggings along the gullies.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you'll just see a couple of dig holes just up where they've tried to follow it up the hill.
Yep.
Maybe unsuccessfully, or maybe there was another rush. I think that's one of the things that people don't appreciate about some of these spots is that, especially during the gold rush, people were like nomads.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting here and you're working your gully and you found 10 pound of gold or
Yeah.
whatever this week, and the next week you find 8 pound, and on the Bush Telegraph they tell you 5 mile up the road they're getting 100 pounder. I know what you and I are going to be doing. We're going to be
walk up the road.
walking up the road.
Yeah.
And that's typical, and that's we probably have a look at a few of the relics and so forth that we've found, and that's what we can talk about a little bit later. But the relics and all that kind of stuff is so spread out because they were nomads.
Yeah.
These rushes were like a big rush here, and then people basically picked up whole towns overnight.
And that's why that old ground that was worked quite often wasn't worked thoroughly, because of boom, gone.
Yeah.
Like, no, something's happening up the road.
Yeah.
And they're gone and they're ready to.
Yeah.
They've moved on to the next one. So.
Yeah. So I'll look at stuff like that, and when I'm going through mining reports, it's good now. We can do Google search and look for things such as words shallow and things like that. So.
Yep.
So a lot of these things might be deep leads, but they actually found gold right throughout the top of it, so which is a pretty good thing. So people think, oh, no, it's all sort of deep lead gold and all this kind of stuff. Well, no, not really. They actually did pretty well, whereas they were getting down to the deeper deeper leads.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So I just spotted Trevor here. Trevor's another one of the Dark Side boys. I don't know where he was. That comments just scroll through so quick, guys. So, but yeah, Trevor's here. G'day, Trevor, Lynn, and Jim.
Yeah,
so
I've got some of Trevor's finds up here too, so you can have a look at some
yeah,
of his glory ones. So.
I actually came across Trevor's. Trevor found didn't he get an award?
Yeah, for a ship find.
Yeah, I actually came across the photo today. So so award-winning ship finder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Trevor is
Very, very talented, our Trevor.
Is he?
Yes. Very, very, very.
There's Trevor there now. So, so tell me, what what's kept you at it for so long? Like, what do you enjoy? Is it for some people it's the finding the goal, some people it's the mateship, some people what is it?
So there's a number of things. So one for me is, and especially if you're gold detecting, if you don't love the bush, don't take up gold detecting.
Yeah, you spend a bit of time in it.
Yes, and there'll be times, and there'll be times again, and times again where you go into the bush and you do not find anything. It can get very, very frustrating. So you got to love the bush.
Yeah.
Really look forward to catching up with mates, sharing finds and so forth is really, really good. I was lucky enough when I did find my first sovereign. One of my best mates was around, and he was there and shared the moment. So that's really, really good. I love the history of it. So to me, we don't have. It's not like England. We didn't have the Romans come through around sort of the age of Christ and all this kind of stuff.
I got a coin. I got a Roman coin out there. Yeah. Blake come in and gave it to me. I find thousands of them over in.
Yeah. And that's why to me the fact that you can do research on an area and walk on ground that hasn't been touched in 160 years, and then just go ping and just pick something up. And it's fallen off, a miner's. It might even be just a miner's button, or obviously some of the lovely buckles and so forth that we find as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. That's awesome. So why the hell would you start a YouTube channel?
Why?
Yeah. Like it,
Yeah.
Because you, from what I can tell, you and Warren were amongst the first two doing metal detecting on YouTube in Australia.
Yeah, I must admit I'm a little bit of a sort of nerd with sort of working out where I found some stuff and all it. So every so that's why I use Garmin's and all that kind of stuff. So every single gold find that I found, whether it's a .00001 or a multi-grammer, I've got everything saved, and you can. It's really, really good these days. You can download all the stuff onto Google and all that kind of stuff. So I just thought it was a good way of actually sort of remembering what I found. But then people said, it was a good way of sort of communicating, how to dig a proper, how to dig a hole, what it looks like when it comes out. And now that getting into the gold, I think a lot of people are really. I do get some comments saying, I just lost 5 minutes of my life watching you dig that out. But if for the purists, they're really, really interested to know that. Okay, you're digging through. This is what gold-bearing ground looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I was amazed the other day with the question I got in the shop here, and it was about my digging technique and why, people must be watching. Yeah. Some people must be watching those videos so closely to then ask the question that they do, which is fantastic because it's a real educational thing. So that's I found that amazing. So and it was something I just do. It was actually, he said, when you get the target back in the hole, you pick the pick back up and throw the ground away. And he said, why do you do that? And it was just so that I've got a clear bit of ground to bring the next stuff out. That was all, and I do it subconsciously. I have to think, why do I, because you just naturally do that. But anyway, so that's good. So. And YouTube is, it's growing a fair bit for you.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough that a couple of them have gone a little bit viral, which has its benefits and otherwise. You get some quite strange comments, and you also get other people copying those YouTube videos and using them for their own devices, but but it's look, to me it's a good way of actually communicating. You'll see that I'm trying, especially with the gold stuff, to try to give people an idea of the ground I'm working on, just taking them, having a look at some of the conglomerate and some of the indicator rock now. So you'll probably notice that a lot of the ones that I do, especially the coin and relic stuff, you'll just see the ground, and there's good reasons for that, because all people need to see is one tree in the background or something like that, and that place is well and truly gone.
So your YouTube channel is Gem Q1.
Yes.
So guys, if you're looking for some good content, make sure you subscribe to Guy's channel. It's a very, very good channel. So I've been watching it for years actually. So, but yeah, so make sure you get onto Guy's channel and have a good look at that. So I do notice you're about 750 short of the 10,000 mark as well.
Yes, well, we're going to have to do something around 10,000. So
yeah.
if you do subscribe, you'll be in the running.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it should be, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 months away. Hopefully, we'll get that up. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll mention again the next couple of weeks, and we'll see if we can push a few over that way. So make sure you get on there and subscribe, guys. It's very, very important. So right, so. For those that have joined us late, I'm Ben from Gold Diggers. Got a little shop here in Brisbane. This is Guy from Gem Q, the YouTube channel, but also the Dark Side, the world famous Dark Side. And so this is Monday Night Live. We do this every Monday night. Tonight's giveaway is Guy doesn't like this shovel much. Is a little American-made shovel. Fantastic bit of gear. The best shovel I think I've ever held and used.
Ben's weapon of choice.
It is my weapon of choice. It's pretty heavy, but yeah, they're $169. So great little shovel there. So we're giving one of them away tonight. Did I almost get you with it there? Did I?
No, you're right.
So I don't know quite how this is going to work, but we've got a new product release, It's a very, very clever bit of kit. I've got to organise a bit of space here. I'm just going to throw this up here. I don't even know whether the camera will get it. But this, or whether the table will hold it. But this is from our friends at Gravatt. This is actually a hand-driven rock crusher. So it allows you to put small pieces of rock in the top here, and you just lift the lever up and down, and this will make a mess on my desk. I won't do it because I'm about to break the desk.
I'll hold it up.
But it basically converts that bit of quartz into basically flour gold. It's fallen through my fingers, it's that fine. So fantastic, innovative bit of gear. You can see that it's dust. That's how small it is. We actually panned a bit of this rock earlier on, and it was it had some gold in it. So I didn't know that. It was just sitting by the front door. So it's been sitting by the front door for years. So, but anyway,
it's a handy doorstop.
It is a handy doorstop. It wasn't a big rock, but so that's just a new product out. They're going to be about $6.99 posted. Or $6.49 pickup. They're about $50 to post because they weigh an absolute ton. So yeah, all adjustable too. You can this bolt, you can undo this bolt that widens the jaws up, so you get a coarser crush sort of thing. I believe there's already orders for the guys that do gold with the CPUs. Yep. You know, they crush up all the phones, and then there's geology departments and schools and what have you. They're all after these things. So I'll put this down. So, but this is a fantastic bit of gear. So he's also doing, coming out shortly, is a toe ball mount for him.
Toe ball mount.
So you can slide it into your toe ball, e-car.
Yep.
No mounting needed. Just slide it straight in, and it'll be a cracking bit of gear. So they're not up on the website yet. I've got little bits of quartz dust everywhere, so probably not good for the lungs to be breathing that in too much.
Silicosis.
Silicosis. That's tonight's show proudly sponsored by Silicosis. But yes, so I think that's one of the really, really clever things that Dustin's come about, and it seriously turns it into flour, and you can put that through again, so and get it all down to that powder. So quality bit of gear from Dustin, so we're very excited to have that. And we also offer, this one's going to be set up here in the shop, so if you're local and you want to bring samples in and crush them up and pan them up, come on in. Happy days. We're more than happy to show you how it works, and if you've got a rock and you think, oh, I might want to, if it's showing a bit of gold, let's crush it up and have a look at it, sort of thing. So fantastic thing from Dustin. So they'll be up. Matthew there is asking, I've got quartz everywhere. Matthew's asking what's Guy's YouTube name. It's Gem
Q1.
Q1. So, how'd the name come about?
Gem is my initials in my name, so Guy,
Yep.
and then the M and E, and Q was, I don't know, I think in the late 80s it was Max Q or something like that, wasn't it?
Oh, really?
Part of In Excess or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Okay, yep.
Anyway, so that's how that came about, and I wanted Gem Q, but someone had already taken that on YouTube, so
Oh,
it had
really?
to be Gem Q1.
Cool. So, yes. Okay. So, Frankie's here. Britta's here. So, lots of guys here. Greg Miller. But he's doing some... that's Pirates over in WA. So lots and lots of people here. Pirates is actually a good camp. Have you ever been to Pirates? You ever been to WA?
No.
No. Pirates is actually, from what I can tell, a pretty good camp. So if you're over in WA, Pirates is probably one you want to hit. So,
and that's really, you know, a good example. So, especially with Wedderburn coming up, all the metal detecting clubs will be out, probably even there already. And yeah, great way of actually learning how to find gold, because some of these guys do basically every month or so.
So while we mentioned Wedderburn, Wedderburn, it's on this weekend. Is it this weekend? Yes. This weekend coming.
Yes, it is.
Guy will be there.
I will.
Yep.
I will.
So yes, you just need to look for the big dark side tent.
Yes.
And
yes.
these lunatics with beards and hats.
Yeah.
So no need to put
hats and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
that. See, the colour doesn't work.
I was going to wear a fluorescent green t-shirt.
Oh, I'm glad you.
All you see is his head sort of moving
along. The headless man.
Yeah.
So Wedderburn's on this weekend. There's a chance to win a 5,000.
Yes. Yep.
So heaps of major sponsors down there. PMAV, Gold does a bit. There's heaps of sponsors down there, sort of thing.
Yeah, and bring the kids. So I think there's kids have got 3 detectors given away. So
cool. Yep.
And the last couple of years, we've made sure that every kid that goes in the comp gets a little nugget as well. So,
good. Yep.
So look after those, but it's not only. I mean, it's great for the area, because it's, Wedderburn's one of these sort of towns that's sort of on the edge. They've got a service station, they've got a butcher, the pub's open 7 days a week, but doesn't take much for that to go the other way. And when you go up there, you want those facilities. They've got a little supermarket there as well. So I mean, it is right in the middle of big gold country. I think. What was this? Up to about 1900? I think there's been about 10 pieces of gold. Most of it's shallow, pretty shallow around there too, that have been over 1,000 ounces. So,
oh, really?
So it is big gold country.
There you go. Go down, win yourself a 5,000. The same weekend, you can go and find yourself a bit of gold.
Yeah, basically
1,000 ounces.
Yeah. Basically within an hour. Well, it was only not that long, 1950s. They were digging up the bloody main street there because someone had found a 185 ouncer, and they found a couple of
in the main street.
Yeah, 80. I think an 80 and a 70 ouncer as well. So
wow, that's pretty special. So
it well and truly is, and we get people over from WA, because obviously probably still a bit warm there to be out about there, and also North Queensland had a few people from America last year come over. So
and
great spot.
I think that's important too, to support some of these little towns. I actually tend. So if I'm packing for a trip, I know you pack for this trip, but what I tend to do is I pack, but then I do my shopping out there.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so, we went to a month ago. There we went to Claremont. So I didn't take a single piece of food with me or a beer, and I bought all that in town. And that's just something I try to do.
You spend the money in those towns, then all those facilities will be there next time you're there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think's important. Like, so, but anyway, that's just me. Other people might have different approaches to that. So,
and for people actually not far from there, Bridgewater actually has got I think they won the Australian title for the vanilla slice. The Bridgewater Bakery's only half 40 minutes away too.
I don't know whether this show can cope with Warren's addiction to meat pies, and vanilla slices in the same sort of. I think we need a different platform for the vanilla slices.
Well,
it seems pretty.
Yeah, the family weren't too happy because I got one last time I was up there. I got one on the way up, and I thought I'll get 3 or 4 on the way home. But I was sold out on the way home, and the missus asked me where they. Where's
me slice?
Yeah. She can believe me though.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of a drive. You could have eaten them on the way home.
Well, so. No, it is a fair drive. Yeah.
So Dean just asked a question here: mono or double decoil on
Mono.
the 45?
Yeah.
Mono.
Run monos. Yeah.
When would you reach for double D?
To be honest, the places I've been working, I just with the elite coils and all that kind of stuff, with the sensitivity to them, like I've worked underneath sort of power lines and so forth, so I haven't really needed to sort of go the double D. So
Yeah. So we're only about 60 comments behind. I don't know how that happened. Katie's here. Craig's here. G'day, Craig. Craig was on last week or the week before last show. So now, Donnie's put a stack of posts up here. So I'd better just do this as well. We're running out of time here, guy.
Isn't this a 2-hour show?
No, well, it feels like it's a 15-minute show sometimes. But don't forget the Queensland prospecting and metal detecting events page. On that is the event the weekend after Easter out at Carrara in the Warwick Goldfields. That should be a cracking weekend. Lots of education out there, so if you're not sure, lots of kids stuff happening out there. There'll be experts out there. So what we're going to have, Donnie's organised fixed time so that if you've got a 7000 and don't know how to run it, right, meet the 7000 guru at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning and he will go through it. There's experts on all the different brands, sluices, everything. So there'll be an expert for each section. So I think that'll be a fantastic learning experience for people. And it's great fun sitting around the campfire at night. Not that I ever do that much. So having a few beers. Also, the Gladstone Old Timers Treasure Hunt is on. You pay a $30 entry fee, treasure hunt around the neighbourhood, and you get chance to win a detector, a $1,000 detector, and
sounds like fun.
It is. It will be. It would be. Yeah. I think second prize is a Sluice, and I think gold pen kit. I may be wrong, but you'll have to get over to that events page to have a look at that. Right. So, Guy, let's have a look at some of these finds. Otherwise, we'll never get there. So, let's have this one fascinated me, and I could not tell you what it was with, where is it? Here it is.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's an interesting one.
So do we want to give the viewers a 30 seconds to guess what that is?
Yes. Can anyone guess what that is? Trevor, you're out of this competition because I reckon Trevor might know what this is.
Well, Mike and Paul, there's a few on there from the dark side.
Oh, is there? Well, the dark side's banned.
Door lock? No, it's not a door lock.
A lighter?
No, it's not a lighter.
No. Flask?
No, it's around 1830.
Belt buckle?
1830 to 1840, if that helps.
Belt buckle? Lighter? No.
I'll give you a hint. Zorro. Does that help?
Zorro. It's a. There you go. Winner.
That's it.
Chris.
Well done, Chris.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
So it's a. Well, you better tell. What
Yeah.
this,
So it's the.
in case people missed the comment.
Top of a sword scabbard. So, as you can see, the thing that looks like a door, a bit of a door key sort of thing. Door lock. Sorry. That's basically where the sword would have went through, and you can see the little button would have sat on the belt. and then underneath that would have been just all leather, which has obviously deteriorated in the last 160 odd years, and it would have had like a little bit of a sharp end as well.
So the sword would have slid in there, and that would have attached to the belt. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then down the far end, it would have been 2 foot long, or however long the sword was.
So that was found next to an old bank. So
Okay.
I don't know, we could theorise it might have been whoever was guarding the bank at that time and had left I don't know if you'd leave your own sword there, but it's quite different because obviously...
Maybe it's a bank robber.
Bank robber?
And he's been...
Considering everyone carried a gun in those days, he'd want to be real quick. Maybe he was Zorro. Maybe.
Zorro, that's right. Yeah, exactly. So, right, we'll put this one up here because there's a multitudes of finds here, and I find this quite fascinating. This one.
Yeah.
So there's some beautiful buckles there.
Yeah. So some of these are from some of the other dark side sort of members. So as you can see, a lot of beautiful cricket buckles, and there's a guy called Brian Meliak who I think he's up to about version 3. And he's got every single...
Is this the buckle
guru?
Oh, yeah. That is a dedicated piece of work, that.
Yeah.
That book is incredible.
Yeah. So, and all these buckles, you can see some of them are military, obviously a lot of Spalding ones, even some of those that are the windmills, obviously for people from overseas. So I think that's the other thing that I love about the goldfields also, and there's probably some others that that would link them to. So we've got some US stuff as well. Is that when I think about multiculturalism in Australia, the gold rush was the start of it. So there was many times when you read about Paddy was standing next to Giovanni, who was standing next to Hans in Italian Gully or American Gully or German Gully, or
And this is another lot of them, isn't it? This isn't a duplicate, that one there.
Yeah, snake buckles, a lot of sort of ornate female stuff as well.
There's some beautiful buckles there.
Yeah, some sash buckles. So.
Yeah. So, this one intrigued me. I haven't asked you about this one.
Yeah, so this is, Paul, so this is actually a silver one. But it's actually, I think it's got like a tennis, or they're playing some sort of tennis game on it. So again, quite ornate, quite beautiful.
Obviously in the Australian outback, of course, because it's got that.
Yes.
A tree.
Got the old black stump in the background.
So. Right.
But I think they're playing obviously tennis, but tennis goes back a fair way too. So.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
It's a Jew's harp.
Okay. Explain that one to me.
So you play it on your you play it on your tongue, not your tongue,
on your lips.
Yeah.
And
it gives like a
Oh, really?
It's that sort of sound.
You've tried it, haven't you?
No, not that's the rust in that one's been sitting there for 140 years. I don't mind putting.
I would have had a crack at it.
I don't mind putting a nice little gold nugget to give it a little bit of a clean, especially if I know it's a fair way away from where they
mercury.
Use mercury or arsenic or something like that. But so that's usually you don't find the middle piece. So it's good to find one with the actual middle piece. I found them without the middle piece as well.
Yeah. That's fascinating. So which one we go to next one? This one here?
Yeah, that was my first little half sovereign. So found that.
So how many? So what do you mean first? Most people
first and only.
First and only. Oh, right. I was going to clarify that and just say, how many are we talking about here?
Yes, I've got. There's other members of the dark side that have been a little bit more fortunate than I have with finding
with
gold
the sovereigns.
So, but yeah, that was, and I've always wanted to find a Sydney mint one, but they're tiny. So that's the size of a sixpence. That's probably one of the things that people don't realise.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it? Yeah.
And so the half's about the size of sixpence, and the full's about the size of a shilling. So that was very, very happy with that. Now this is one of the. So I'm waiting to give this to a local museum. So
what?
So what this is, I don't know if you can see, but you can little letters there. So this is
Are they stamps or brands or something?
Yeah, so this is off a press that would have been doing the local newspaper.
Oh, okay.
And for this gold rush, there's no... So you know how you go to Trove and you can look through the old papers and all this kind of stuff?
Yep.
None exists for this gold rush. But on that, I actually found with it, and I've got other pieces of it, but yeah, so that to me is quite valuable and obviously should be kept locally with the local historian.
So did you find a stack of those pieces in one spot, did you?
Yeah, and then I think it's called an Alston or something like that, and I was able to date it. I think it's sort of 1840s to 1850s press.
Yeah, okay. So that would have been part of the press of the local newspaper.
Yeah. So they would have been posting that 20 miles up the road that Joe Bloggs has just found a new rush and so forth. So yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right. We've got a couple more here. What's this? This one here is... I'm intrigued by the crown.
Yeah. So some of these ones, and I think there's a couple of others that are basically pre-Federation, so they look at sort of what we would consider to be sort of militia buckles and so forth. That one's actually a English nurse's buckle.
Oh, really?
It's actually got this writing on it. It's got Florence Nightingale on it around it. So,
oh, cool. Oh, awesome.
So that's a pretty cool one. They're just little cricket buckles and the old kangaroos. You can see the hand around the Shane Warne, the old snake buckles. Find plenty of those.
Yeah, they're a nice buckle. I like those.
Yeah.
They're some of my favourites, those are.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get a bit of a update. I know there's a lot of Victorians that watch the show.
Yep.
Let's get a bit of an update on what's going on with VAC and the submissions and access. Let's have because a lot of us Queenslanders don't follow it that closely. Where a lot of them support and all that sort of thing. But so just give us a quick rundown of what's going on and yeah.
So there's for the second lot. So when they put the draft recommendations out, there's been 2,600 submissions.
Yep.
So all of those are now on the website. So it's good if you want to trawl through some of those just to get an idea about other people's feelings and just how it impacts on other users of the bush.
Yep.
And my understanding, they'll be making a decision up to government in June of this year. So, yes.
So in June they go, right, we've got listened to all the submissions.
Yep.
Well, hopefully we've listened to all the submissions and this is what we've come up with.
Yes.
And then...
That gets, from what I understand, that will get tabled in Parliament, and then I gather Parliament will say yay or no, and whether there's any bipartisan agreement or so forth.
That's not likely, is it? Bipartisan agreement? Australia.
Probably not on something like this, and probably not following. The fires that are now burning in the east of the state would also have some impact around sort of the management of these areas, because. I think one of the things that a lot of people are saying is that if you don't have access to, you're not having the, 200 or 300 prospectors going up to from Melbourne into these areas every weekend, then there's no one looking after the bush.
Yeah.
And you get idiots getting in there and that's what happens. You lock up the bush. There's the trees. It go over any of the tracks.
Yeah.
Bush grows really, really quickly there too on the tracks.
Yeah.
Fireys don't have access. The whole. It's
Yeah. It's funny. I've got an old bloke that I've got a permission for him. He actually doesn't really like prospectors. He sort of probably don't even like me. He just puts up with me, but he encourages. He's got 6,000 or 7,000 acres.
Yeah.
He's got 3,000 acres that he uses, and he's got the rest is just back paddock scrub that when he's got a drought he can push the breeders up there and there's a bit of tucker up there for him. But he encourages 4-wheel drive clubs particularly to go in there and use that area.
Yep.
because they're cut, they clear the tracks and they,
Yep.
you know, they, yeah. So, you know, that's the private management of an area.
Yep.
And they're cutting firewood and, you know, burning firewood for a campfire and and it's managing the area sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think the other part about it is that you know, we also talk about the bush. I mean, I love going and seeing some of the things in the bush. You know, there's especially in some of the thicker bush that we get into. Some of the fledglings, some of these little birds, especially in the spring, they don't even know what a human is. And, and you actually just sit on a rock and they almost, you know, will sit on the end of your detector and, you know, they'll chirp away and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, quite unique. I've seen a couple of mallee fowl that are pretty highly endangered as well. So, you know, that's you know, I actually quite enjoy, and you've probably seen a few of my videos that I usually have a bit of a wildlife moment, whether it's a wallaby who do they just stroll along, or a big buck kangaroo who's sort of standing between me and a reef, and he's not going to move.
It's do you have in that thick scrub you go into, you wouldn't get a whole stack of snakes down there, would you?
Look,
there'd be some.
Yeah, look, there are some. I think, look, most of the times that I've sort of come across them is sort of the transition period. So, like coming into the next couple of months when the snakes getting a little bit lazy. It's the lazy snakes you get worried about, not the ones that are you know, in the middle of summer, because they'll hear you. You know, you've got usually a big pick or a very, very nice thing like this with you. And you're swinging a metal detector, so usually they scoot off pretty quickly. It's when they get docile, especially the tigers and all that kind of stuff, and they just think, I haven't got enough energy to move this time. I might just stand my ground, and if you're not looking in the right direction, you could get a bit of a rude shock. So.
Yeah. We actually, like up here, it seems to me like we only have trouble in that mating season. Like October, November. That's the only time. Some of they're too quick, they're not interested. And like, it's because you're swinging a detector, most of the time they're gone, sort of thing. So
I would say that most of the problems that we have with animals in the bush are ants. Bloody bull ants.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. There's a video, I think Warren published it, of I was standing there, I was trying to help film a video, and I'm standing there, I'm thinking, what's that? I had a pair of shorts on, inside my shorts, there was a strategic attack drive.
Oh, no.
They climbed up, right, because I had gaiters on, it must have been October, November. They had gaiters on, so they could get from the gaiters to my shorts, had long shorts on, right? And all of a sudden, all of them bit me at once. It was a strategic attack. I'd bloody had my gear off, running around the bush, and Warren's still filming. And he didn't cut it out, No.
I mean, that's gold, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, he didn't see me running around the bush with me shorts, but you could hear some cursing in the background.
Oh no, I've heard many a story where blokes, you know, the old meat ants have got up the inner leg, and they've dropped the strides and whatever else was around them, running like lunatics.
We get these ones out Warwick that are about 1.5 inches long, and I reckon 1 inch of that's pincer. Like, they're just bloody mean bastards, they are. Anyway, I shouldn't swear, but that day I swore, so. Right, so we've got stacks of questions here, but let's just do a quick reminder. So, guys, you've only got about 10 minutes or so before we draw the prize for the NX5 digger. Made in the States, quality bit of gear, nice sharp tip on it, sort of thing. And my favourite feature, it's actually got, I don't know whether you can see it here, I might have to hold it like that. It's actually got a bottle opener on the below the foot pedal. So quality bit of gear, $160, $169. So we'll give that away in about 10 minutes time.
And there also will be a little dark side stubby holder. And
awesome.
A little key ring.
Look at that, a key ring.
And for folks at home.
Oh, look at that. Gold nugget.
There you go, bit of GT gold.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. That's a fantastic price. How big's that bit?
It's pretty flat.
Is it?
Probably about half a gram or something.
Half a gram, yeah. So fantastic. Thanks for that, guy.
No
I
worries.
didn't even know what you're giving away. I spotted the stubby cooler, but yeah. But yeah. So fantastic. So guys, 2 prizes tonight. So we'll draw that in about 10 minutes time. So yes. So a couple of questions here. When's your next video coming out?
It will be of the Wedderburn. Well, I'll be heading up on Thursday, so I might find some gold on the Thursday and Friday because it's relatively cool.
Yep.
But I won't post anything till probably the following weekend. So I'll do a video on the Wedderburn token hunt, so you'll be able to see all of that and who wins and some of the gold panning and everything else that happens there. And also take some shots from on top of Hard Hill there. So
Yep.
they still find gold there, most token hunts as well. So
Yeah.
if I find some gold, I'll chuck that up probably the following week. So yeah, but there's nothing coming out this weekend. So if you're hanging out for something,
Well, you're
this
up
weekend,
here in Brisbane working, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. So
This is a working holiday.
holiday. Yeah. Yeah. So right. Okay. So everyone's asking how's the cruiser, the ute, the new ute I've got is going very, very well. Haven't done a whole lot with it. I've been quite busy, but yeah, it is a weapon. It's a thing of beauty to drive. It's very mechanical and yes. So yeah, it's great. So that's that. So
Someone's asking about those nugget. Do you sell those nugget display cases?
yeah, we've got those little display cases, but you can get them. I think I've only got 1 or 2 here, sort of thing. So we don't advertise them to sell them local.
Yeah,
But
it's got foam in them and
yeah, and you can buy them on eBay,
yeah,
and you can buy
stacks of them.
stacks of them for not much.
Yeah.
So pretty much, you can actually buy a whole tray that's about, I suppose, 35 centimetres by say 20. That's got 40 in there or 30 in there. So that's probably the best way to buy them, particularly if you're finding a few nuggets, sort of thing. Buy a few of them and keep the display case. It's not a cardboard case. That's where I get them from.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, for even you find some nice specimen gold, or you find different types of gold. You know, you
Yep.
might find some
Yeah.
crystalline gold or something like that you might want to keep. So.
Yeah, and my advice to you, I've fallen into this trap with these before, is don't buy the cheap ones, right? Because the cheap ones, normally the cases are scratched and they are cheap. So,
Yep.
you know, that's something you can afford to spend a little bit more money on. So, yeah, because the difference, it might be $3 difference, and it's like $20 different when you actually get it in your hand. So,
Yeah.
right. So, I've got 2 questions for you actually.
Yep.
What's your most memorable find? Not valuable, not what sticks out in your mind as what's that thing?
Oh, just I mean, a lot of finds are all, you know, that they have either a sense of history to them or a sense of, you know, almost like a sense of occasion. So we've seen some of the things such as that,
Yeah.
the sword scabbard, and obviously some of the beautiful buckles and so forth. Half sovereign was also pretty good, but I don't think anything can beat finding your first gold nugget. It's priceless, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So if those who haven't and are trying, you got to keep at it and be persistent. That's the best way to go. So, so what's your biggest nugget?
That'd be the one that I'll be finding in about 2 days' time, then, wouldn't it?
The next one's always the biggest, isn't it? So yes. So what was it?
What was it? Oh, I found multi grammars, but I haven't hit the ounce mark yet.
Haven't hit the ounce mark yet.
Yeah,
No.
so-
Well, I haven't hit the ounce mark for about 7 years. It feels like 70 years. It feels like, but they're few and far between those, aren't they?
They are, but
They're there.
the old saying is, if you're not out looking for them,
Yeah.
you don't find
You
them.
don't find anything with a detector in the cupboard.
Yes.
There's the tip for tonight. So yeah. Right. So we got any? Roger got his first at the whipstick. Craig asked, what's the best gold machine? The best gold machine is probably a 7000. In most situations, in some situations, there's better machines, I suppose.
Yeah, especially if it's 35 degrees and you've got 4 or 5 k's to walk. 7,000 is probably not the best machine to be carrying. You might want something a little bit smaller and a little bit more lighter. But obviously the 7,000's got some great attributes. But
like there are machines, like if you pick what you're doing, there are machines like the Gold Bug 2.
Yeah.
Like that's a cracking machine.
Yeah.
But if you go into deep ground, you walk around all day and find nothing. So, you've got to be in shallow ground with some of those other machines, and you've got to pick your.
Yeah, and that's even people do, and the SDC is so popular and all that kind of stuff. But it's finding gold down, 2 to 4 inches, sort of, But below that, it misses a lot of that sort of good gold, and that's where you might need to upgrade and have a 45 with one of either the Coiltech coils or the Nugget Finder coils in there. That gives you that depth.
And by far and away, the best machine to go looking for gold is the one you got. And you need to know that machine back to front to be good at finding gold. There's no point going out, reading the manual and spending 6 hours at it and putting it down and going, no gold here.
Yeah, and I think the things, I'll just pick up the 6. Should I pick this up?
Yeah, you're allowed. Yeah.
Anyway, so this is sort of a 6 gram nugget. So what people don't realise is there's more gold in that than a half sovereign. So in some places, your best machine might actually be a coin and relic machine. If there's absolutely junk everywhere, and it's been a dump site for ages and ages and ages, there's been a lot of good gold nuggets found with AT Pros, with CTXs and so forth. So that's the advantage of having discrimination. Yeah,
exactly. And that's the point I make about gold detectors. You go into a junk pile with a 7,000 or a 4,500, you won't find a thing. But you go in there with a...
You'll get a headache pretty quick.
Yeah, you get a headache pretty quick. But you go in there with a CTX or a AT Pro or an Equinox or even a Gold Monster, you'll be able to go, shit, good. So that's the advantage of... But you got to pick your game with that. So, yes. So, righto, guys. Right, we've got...
it's gone quick.
It has. It does. Do you find many gems? Do you find any gems?
No, that's got nothing to do with my name. But no, I don't.
No.
Don't look for gems, but I've found a few quartz crystals and things like that when you're walking along. All right, Cameron's letting everyone know what he thinks. So good on you, Cameron. Have you found any gold? Have you got an Equinox? Yes.
Have you found any gold with it?
No, I haven't looked for any gold with it. No.
Yeah. Why would you when you got a 45?
Yeah, I mean, I did find that the bit of gold I found with the CTX was on an old hotel site. So I recollect that someone got full of rum that night, and it might have fallen out of his pocket and stuff like that.
Yeah. And a dedicated gold machine is what you want for gold, ideally. So, just like I wouldn't be going and hunting the beach with a 7,000 because it's probably the wrong machine for the job.
Most definitely.
Yes. So right. Okay. So guys, you've got 2 minutes before we fire up the randomizer and we pick the prizes for tonight. So make sure you've shared, and we'll fire up the randomizer now. There's a little bit of quick chat on next week's show. I feel like I've got YouTube royalty in the place. Guy this week and Warren from NQ Explorers next week. We're going to have a bit of a chat about gold, a few bits and pieces. So a real basic how to find gold. So so that's something to tune in for next week. And we will be covering the basics. So, so it'll be good. So, Coiltech. So do you use Coiltech Elites? Is that right?
Yeah, mainly.
Yep. Is there a reason?
I've done a little bit of work with Coiltech, just testing their coils and seeing how they get made. So when I was over in South Australia, another work holiday.
Yep.
A few of those, thankfully.
Yeah.
And so Trevor showed me around inside there, and I suppose one of the things that I also want to discuss is there's a reason we have skid plates, and that's to keep the coils on the ground. They're built to last those coils. So get your coil on the ground, scrape them. I'll probably go through a skid plate probably every 3 or 4 months, something like that.
Yep.
So get them on the ground.
Absolutely. I've heard of people take them off, put them back on after they finish with them. So yes,
they're only about $10 or $15.
Yeah, exactly. So absolutely. When you gull detecting or when you're doing any detecting, your coil cover is your enemy. Rub that sucker out.
Yeah.
So
first line of defence.
Yep. So righto. Okay. So it's just clicked over 1:30. So we'll do the randomizer now. So who's going to go? Who? What's the first prize? Yours or the shovel?
I think we might go the shovel.
Shovel first. Okay. So Brian from Tawantin, by the look of it. Brian, congratulations! You've got a NX5 shovel, and then so congratulations, Brian, on that one. And then Ian is from, I don't know where Ian's from. Ian, Cairns. Maybe he's from Cairns.
Yeah.
Yes.
2 Queenslanders.
Well, I don't think he is from Cairns. That's his last name.
Yeah. Okay.
But he's hidden. So wherever Ian is from, yes, congratulations. You've won the Dark Side little kit. So well done. Right, so that's us. Thanks for coming along, Guy.
No worries. Hope to see everyone at Wedderburn on the weekend, and by all means come into the camp and say good day. And
yeah, make sure you do. Most of the Dark Side, they might look a bit ordinary with that beard on and stuff, but they're mostly good guys. So just before I go, don't forget to get onto GemQ's YouTube channel and subscribe. It's really, really good. Get a bit of education there, and Guy knows what he's doing. So thanks very much, everyone. And I'll see you next week with Warren. And you'll see Guy at Wedderburn, or next time he's up in Brisbane, we'll
yes,
do this all over again. So
most definitely.
Okay. Good night, guys.
See you.